Good morning. This is called God. Why do I and many others choose to believe in a God when often we are let down and disappointed daily? I realized when I was 8 years old that God did not always give you what you prayed for. I gave my heart and soul to God when my parents told me that I would have cerebral palsy forever. I prayed and cried myself to sleep. I prayed that when I awoke that I would no longer have cerebral palsy. When I awoke, I still had cerebral palsy, and I never cried about that again. I always knew I was gay. I figured God did not make a mistake with that, and people who believed in God would understand that when I get older. Many Christians, I would find out, did not share my point of view. But these are Christians, and they are not God, and they did not create me. Why does God make us suffer in our daily lives? Life is a gift, and we were kicked out of heaven supposedly because Adam and Eve ate an apple when God told them not to. Was God having a bad day? After all, he could always create more apples. If God knows everything, then he knew that Adam and Eve were going to eat that apple. A loving God is forgiving, we were told. Why has God supposedly made us suffer because of something that we had nothing to do with? We had nothing to do with eating that apple. If God is God, then God is in charge and always has been. Why does God hurt and let us down daily? Does he not hear our prayers, our pain? Does he not hear our prayers for hunger, for poverty, for violence, and for abuse? Why does a loving God allow this to happen? I ask again daily. Now I can choose to disregard God and say he is not real. Okay, so when I die, if there's just nothingness, some might call that heaven. Let's say nothingness is nothingness. Imagine nothingness for the next 3 minutes. You can't do that, can you? Why? Because we want to hope that there is something more to this life, even after this life. It's hard just to imagine nothingness. If not for God and love of my family, I might have checked out years ago. Cerebral palsy has not been my problem. My problem has been with some Christians because they often do not accept people who are gay. They claim to believe in God, but often they like to pass judgment on others. I will not let Christians make me feel ashamed for who I am. I have never fit in my life with any church. The Catholic Christian church I did not fit into. I dropped out about 30 years ago. I joined a Universal Unitarian Church and started public speaking, and when I did so, I was flying so high. Many Universal Unitarians love politics, but I hate politics because of money, power. Money and power can corrupt people and lead you to disappointments. People also like to make politicians out to be our saviors. I am not an atheist, but I do question if God is real or if we believe in him just out of conditioning from our childhood. I also think of my mother Mary and her pilgrimage just before she passed, and her faith also makes me believe in God. So why believe in God when there's so much pain in our daily lives? I think for me it comes down to hope. Is it possible that God in heaven could be a dream? But even if that would turn out to be true, hope and love are better than despair and hatred. I wish that God would make us all happier in our daily lives. I wish people loved and respected one another more daily. I have had some interesting relationships in my life, and I consider myself spiritual. But at times I do not fit in or belong with any church. The next life, I hope I will fit in and belong spiritually. At times I feel like a man without a country. It's not easy to try to understand everybody and not hurt anybody and still feel like you are connected and that you still belong. I do my writings and my videos to help keep my sanity. Maybe one or two people watch them, maybe nobody will watch them, but it helps me keep my sanity and go forward and try to be loving and hopefully be this way till the day I die. Thank you. Have a good day.